Welcome back to my channel. I know I'm a little later than usual, but I'm never disappointing. Look at her. Damn it. Here we go. Here. No. There you go. There you go. Okay, so this is a peekaboo that I did with no spray paint. You want to know how I did it? I'll tell you. Watch the video. Just kidding. No, but really watch the video. I'm not going to explain it to you. I just filmed it. Okay, guys. So this is something that took me like less than an hour to do. You'll see, this is a fast and easy little tutorial. It's got a cute little straw. I hope that you guys are enjoying having 2 videos a week. This is officially the second week of 2 videos. So I hope you love it. I'm gonna go out and do some ratchet hoe shit in Destin with my friend who's visiting. Nikki, say hi.
Hi.
So I'm gonna film this intro and then I'm gonna go try to not get arrested. But if I get arrested, will you guys bail me out? Let me know in the comments how loyal you are. Anyway, enjoy the video. Besitos! I'm so excited to do this tutorial with you guys. We are going to be using transparent vinyl from one of my closest friends, Yvette, the owner and creator behind Maestra Creations. I am going to show you how to apply this. So what you see me cutting here is a little white edge, just because I obviously don't want that to be part of my design. So it's just a teeny tiny itty bitty little white edge, and we're gonna cut it off. Now, like I've showed you guys how to do vinyl wraps before, but you just remove a tiny little bit of the backing and then you center it as like straight as you possibly can. And then you take your sausage fingers and you kind of just slide them back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This way you're working out air bubbles as you're going. And because you're only sticking little sections of the vinyl to the tumbler at once, you can peel up and push the air bubble out, peel up, push the air bubble out, versus sticking down a huge piece and then having to remove all of it. And then it's impossible to get it to lay flat again, like my booty. You know what I'm saying? Just so many obstacles. So just do it little by little like this. As you can see, my sausage fingers are really putting in the work, and I love how this looks. I also want to give you another little tip. If you take a little piece of painter's tape and you put it right where you want to cut the seam, right, to make your vinyl line up, it's kind of like a little guide to help you cut your line as straight as possible. And then when you're done, you can just lift that painter's tape up when you remove that excess, and it lines up pretty good. Now, of course, it's a Serape, so it's not gonna line up perfectly because they're lines, and anytime you do a vinyl wrap, you know, very rarely will you be able to make that seam completely disappear. Here you see me struggling with my fat little sausage fingers, but it lined up pretty good and I was able to blend it out pretty good. I was very happy with how it looked. I wish I would have cut a little bit of the excess vinyl off before I applied it because I feel like I'm wasting a little bit. So please don't come for me on a lovely day like Wednesday. So what I'm gonna do is what I love about this vinyl is that it's stretchy. It's stretchy, so you can pull it up and pull it down into the tumbler, because we're gonna take our X-Acto knife and we're gonna slide it against the rim, and we're gonna slice off, not a sausage finger, we're gonna slice off the excess vinyl at the very tippity top, and we're gonna do the same thing at the bottom. We are gonna take that, I don't wanna say anymore. Every time I say take a drink. What you're gonna do now is you're gonna pull that vinyl up and pull it towards the center and stick it down. As you can see, it's stretching it really nicely and giving that rounded off curve. Look at that edge. I don't want to brag, but sometimes you just gotta brag. So here's me bragging. Okay, so once you get that perfect, smooth, rounded edge, you're gonna take your X-Acto knife and you're just gonna go as close as you can to the edge and cut off that excess. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can totally add glitter to the bottom, or you can paint it with chalk paint. I like using chalk paint a lot more than acrylic paint because chalk paint dries faster and I'm very impatient. So chalk paint is the way to go, or you could do glitter downstairs. I was gonna say you could do glitter downstairs. I'm gonna show you a little trick. So if you want to do a peekaboo, but you live somewhere where it's cold or it's super humid, like here in Florida, oh my gosh, the spray paint takes days to dry, and even then it's still tacky. I'm going to show you a really cool way to do a peekaboo tumbler without using spray paint. Yes, 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 you heard it right. So what I'm going to do is I took removable vinyl and placed leopard spots all over my tumbler. It's very important that you use removable vinyl so that it's easy to peel up. And once I placed them, I took my heat gun. Now this is a cool little trick. You're welcome. So you heat up that very bottom part of the vinyl and it almost melts it a little bit. And then you just take your booger hook and smooth it out and press it down. And what that does is it makes it so that there's no like pointy edges or pointy pieces of the vinyl sticking up. So it just makes it so you have a rounder bottom like mine, which all of that was for nothing because look what I ended up doing anyway. Hee, but I left it in the video because you know what? I'm a real ass crafting hoe, and that's H-O, so don't even come for me. And I just like to give you guys the honest process and tell you that when you're crafting, you can change your mind a million times. And it would have taken me 2 seconds to remove that out, but I didn't want to because I'm a gangsta, do what I want. Okay, so here I took a cheap makeup sponge from the Dollar Tree and I just kind of cut a little bit of edges around so that it wasn't like a square so that I could give it some texture. And then I started dabbing little bits of chalk paint. I did white chalk paint. I got it at the Hooby Looby. It was only $1.99 and I've already used it on a ton of tumblers. Like it goes a really long way. So this requires a little bit of patience, but I do want to tell you that I did this whole entire design in under an hour. So even though you may be looking at this thinking like, oh my Lanta Santa, I'm not going to sit there for 12 days and 12 nights and pat down, thin coats of chalk paint. But I promise you, it actually did not take very much because chalk paint dries really fast. So I did a very thin coat and then was able to go over that with the second coat. And then once I had pretty good coverage, I went over with my pink. Now, peas, what is going on right now? Please keep in mind that this is not meant to be like a regular peekaboo with a super smooth spray paint. Obviously, we're going to have texture, but that is what we're going for. And I finished my bottom by doing that exact same thing. Hold on a second. How do we get here? Guys, hold on. I'll be right back. Somebody messed up in this editing video, and that somebody is me, but I just really want to blame someone else. Okay, I went and yelled at the help. Haters would say it's me, that I'm the help, and they're right, okay? Leave me alone. All right, so I wanted to give it this textured, like really beautiful look. That's the whole point of using a textured sponge and not brushing the paint on with a paintbrush. I also want to tell you guys that it's super important to do thin coats because if a lot of that paint gets under your vinyl, it's going to lose its shape. So you're not going to have like that clean leopard shape. And I know the bottom looked a little sketchy, but trust the process. Trust the process. I went over it again with a little bit more white chalk paint and a little bit more pink chalk paint, and it looked beautiful and matched the rest of the tumbler. You can do whatever you want with your bottoms. That's not for me to know. That's for you and Jesus. Just kidding. I'm talking about the tumbler bottom. Hee. My friend Nikki's here visiting from out of town. She's sitting across from me and she wants to laugh so hard, which makes me feel like Dr. Phil with a live audience. But watching her silent laugh is so funny because she's just opening her mouth really big. Nikki, you're going to get a fly in your mouth. You can laugh. You can make a noise. Hee hee. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm taking my X-Acto knife and I am just very carefully looking for those leopard spots and peeling them up. Now I know it's hot. Sorry about the jets, you guys. You know I'm on an Air Force base and they're really loud. I apologize about that. It's the sound of freedom. Okay, sorry. So I know that you are not super zoomed in, so you're thinking like, oh my gosh, Myra, how can you find the leopard spots? Girl, easily. I can find them easily. They're really easy for you to see because they're like sticking up a little bit 3D. And so do not fret, okay? Do not be nervous. But a little tip that I can give you is if you do feel like you're gonna lose your leopard spots, you could put a little dot of Elmer's glue on them, let it dry, and then do your paint, and then it's going to be really easy for you to find every single leopard spot. But you won't need to do that. Be careful with this part. Take your time. Try not to scratch the paint. You know, take it easy. It's not a race, okay? Take your time, listen to some music, watch some trash TV, and just take your time and peel it up. This is the rewarding part where you get to see your final product. Now, I decided that I didn't want to do a decal on this tumbler because I just really liked it by itself, and I also couldn't think of a quote that matched or that went with this, so I left it like this. But I think that being able to do this kind of textured peekaboo with maybe something floral, game changer. And also, I know that I didn't get full coverage. That was the whole purpose of the look I was going for, but you can do as many layers of chalk paint as you want and get the coverage that you want. I finished this off with 40 mLs of epoxy, 20 mLs of part A and 20 mLs of part B, and I added a tiny little bit of beautiful opal glitter, and here she is. She's beautiful. I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you on Saturday. Besitos.